it's Monday. So that means it's time to travel home. What a weekend this has been. But it's gonna feel a little longer with the return home. Maybe shorter for you because of the quick, small, new world montage, which actually kind of fit last year with the travel home, shockingly enough. But got a big road, some days ahead of us, but to keep occupied, of course, Spotify. Just what a weekend this has been. The comeback of cosplay, the return of vlogging. Yeah, this was going to be a real challenge to figure out how to edit this thing. For the most part, got just about everything unpacked for the room. Guess all that is left is get all of these in the vehicle, and then we can get things going. Of course, I'm just feeling half awake, but hopefully that'll change when I get back. Though possibly not, I don't know. But let's get going.
I watch the city lights and illuminate them bright, and I let it in and let it out. I feel the summer in the air, the sound of freedom everywhere. So raise your glass, your home's where you belong.
What a day this has been. So, guess it turns out, just decide the challenge and see if we could do the whole 9 hours. Made it somehow. But, oh boy. What a convention year this has been. Another Everfree Northwest has practically ended. And I'm tripping over stuff. But I'd say some positivity would be, at least we survived somehow. Managed to make through with what we have in terms of how many Everfree Northwest this has been. But we've made this year work like before. And yet we managed to still strive and still survive and everything in between. It was pretty big. Definitely a lot of stops have been pulled. Both the chairs did a tremendous job at what they did for the convention. I mean, other than the next-gen characters from the Netflix series, we also had a small-time appearance of, well, an extra bonus of Tabitha St. Germain there and Nicole Oliver, but only for Friday. But it's not only that, but we also got some of the people that did voices for Owl House. A very good show, I highly recommend it. But it's just, what an adventure this has been. There's so much to discuss about, so much to talk about, but Man, I'm completely and utterly worn out from it all. That I could practically just wait till like a next video just to discuss how the experience was and what the year was like. Which I may think I do that now. So as far as convention goes, I'd say outside of a few hiccups along the way, I think we did alright. It was a mess, yes, but we made it out somehow. I mean, being able to see Red Card again, being able to see Kid again, he's on staff. Princess Deadpool was a surprise, he was on staff. But it's like, everything's a surprise at Everfree Northwest. I got to meet most of the characters from Owl. I actually got to meet Sarah Nicole and Rebecca from Owl House. Got pics and autographs and everything from them. And I'm really excited that there's a kind of sort of show those off online on the vlogs and everything. Well, the concerts went pretty well. I mean, it was a good, like, selection overall. Strong picks, strong decisions, strong everything this convention chose. Sure, we never saw, at least in this vlog, I didn't see much of Red Card. Well, we saw a lot of Little Shies and Spiral Kips and everyone in between. But being in cosplay, like, after 7 years of holding off from it, not doing it for, like, a long time, I sometimes forget how fun it was, but also how slightly stress-inducing it was. I mean, these are the convention vlogs, for Pete's sake. For years I've been more focused on doing vlogs than on cosplay, and even when I was in cosplay, the other big decision was, how do I vlog while also being in cosplay? Now that is really difficult to consider and overthink, and how it would even, like, work entirely. But, like I said, made it somehow. One thing that I'm hoping would be when I go to edit this footage, like I said on Friday, I want to see what happens. I actually want to see how that footage turned out. How I was walking around Everfree Northwest in cosplay while having the camera like right along the side here, looking somewhat at the floor majority of the time. I tried to keep it stable, but it's sometimes hard to tell through that little LCD screen. But it was a birthday, it was nice, got a lot of wishes from people online, but also at the convention. Also, speaking of people at convention, I actually had like loads of people, a lot of staff, a lot of musicians, like they'd actually like would not even recognize me because I don't have the bucket hat on, which is actually kind of like, it's been an identity thing for many years whenever I attend Everfree Northwest or any convention in general. I mean, a lot of work, a lot of effort, a lot of everything's been put into this thing. And sometimes, some of those slight times are good enough. Seeing Sarah Nicole and Rebecca for the first time, they were pretty fun. I mean, not only the autographs, but also the photographs. Like, Those were pretty neat. Kind of decided a back and forth between the two of them of a fantasy theme and then a just like regular human theme and whatnot. So I felt like it kind of fit for both the commissions. I mean, Washouts might have been a mixed bag for some people, but it was Spyro the Dragon, honestly, that was a huge hit. Especially at the gala, despite, like, me sweating in that thing. But that's probably on my part because I forgot to grab some gear that would protect me from sweating in cosplay. So, I'm gonna remember that for next time when I head down to Everfree Northwest and, well, proceed onwards and cosplay and vlog and like usual. It was good seeing Redcard and Taylor again. Still, both of us are in talks of like sharing each footage, like the Jackbox footage. Like, I gotta send my POV to him, but also the captured footage. What was a little confusing was, especially my laptop, and I don't know whether or not it was how it was all set up, but never once did I see any audio come out of that laptop or the recordings. I don't know whether or not it was because of the headphone jack that it went into and then transferred to the HDMI or something like that. Who honestly knows? Capturing videos works differently from capturing audio. Sometimes both. Then I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. I'd say next ones are like PMV contests. Like, that was a big surprise. Like, I knew from like start, like, Don't Give Up was going to be a story-based PMV, but only 6 submissions. Like, that nearly filled up all the categories, leaving 2 alone, which meant the likes of, despite the repeated use of clips, I kind of like the Big Bad Voodoo Daddy PMV. Maybe it's just because I like the musician. A lot of his songs are really, really catchy, and even have them in my Spotify playlist. But it was obvious from the start, like, just that moment, as I said last night, where Don't Give Up was going to be at least, like, a fitting thing for the category of Best Story, despite going through that burnout from last year's vlogs, and that was pain, because even while I'm editing this thing, I was so burned out by it all, and it was not pretty. Conflicts, well, it was kept to a minimum, but unfortunately, I had to skip out on Brony's React, and it sucked. As nice as it would have been to see that, I can't miss the PMV contest. But then, even as I got in and set up the camera for the reactions, and playing some like PMVs for starters, I thought for a moment he was going to pull a horoscope. Like I said in last year's PMVs, it's not one of his strongest PMVs he's done. But as soon as I heard like those magical tunes and then saw that like live action footage of the Brony opening the door, I'm like, oh, they're playing Reach. Oh my god. They're actually playing one of the PMVs that I am extremely proud of. A story-driven PMV. And they're showing it in a pre-show. Yes! But then, as soon as the announcement came along for what would be PMV winners, Best Story went to my video Don't Give Up by Eagle Eye Cherry, which it's 5:42 right now, and that PMV is actually going to be premiering in about 15 minutes or so. So it's real nice. We got to see that Don't Give Up won Best Story. I've yet to put a description into it because at the time, well, you know, one of those things, you got nothing. I should have something maybe down the line, but I'm not too sure. It all depends on how the dice rolls. What I plan next year, it's a matter of consideration. I'll have to decide on that once the time rolls around properly. So I felt like a lot of it went pretty well. Finally got to see most of my friends. I got to see S.R. Foxley before he goes abroad in his new home. Surprisingly enough, a jar of his honey that he harvested was actually put into the auction, which was actually kind of funny and fascinating at the same time. There was a lot of highlights for the auction, lots of good stuff. Unfortunately, it didn't break last year's record for how much Everfree Northwest has pulled for, like, the Washington Alliance, the WAA. But we still raked in a good amount of money either way. Sure, we're like a couple thousand short, but still something. Can't be negative about that. Truthfully, like, even after, like, all this time being on the road and thinking back to all the memories from this year's Everfree, sometimes there's moments where I'm just like, did this actually happen? Did this not? Was there something I did this year that went over my head? Or is there something of just pure coincidence that I'm like, this was a pretty good moment? Or in the vlogs in general? Wait, vlogs in general? Oh, I think I know. I didn't think I said the F word once in this entire, like, season of the convention vlogs. Wow, I actually kept back on that. That's a surprise. I didn't think that would happen. It happened once at some point, nearly came close to it, but I kept the cursing to a minimum. I'm surprised at myself. So, as of now, plan is, as usual, going to edit the panels first a bit. At least get the PMV contest online, because sometimes panels are like priority number one. Oh yeah, I need to transfer all the footage I had off that laptop and get it onto the PC here. So honestly, I didn't do that like last night after Sunday passed, but I thought like we were going to be doing a 2-part travel. Like, we were going to stay in Idaho at the halfway point for the night and then continue onwards on Tuesday. That would have given me enough time to transfer footage from Thursday to Sunday all onto the external hard drive that I've kept most of the master files of the convention vlogs on. Well, at least for the ones that are the raw prints of the vlogs themselves. Because this PC's kind of being a little iffy on me. So, can't be too careful. What else can I say? It was another good year of Everfree. Even like meeting the old friends, even running into someone that I actually didn't expect I'd run into. It was a person on Twitter, I'm not going to give away names, but I actually saw them in person. Well, I think it was the badge I recognized, and it's like, oh, I stumbled onto someone, got into a good chat, and hopefully I get to see him next year. Even that, like, third and final day of, like, talking to Redcard and some of the other friends, they were as usual, tremendous. They were fun. Fun crew, fun people. It was overall fun. And that's kind of the best word to describe it. Fun. But there is one thing that I do look forward to next year. And that is, of course, the next Everfree Northwest, which is happening at the end of the month. As always. But actually, this isn't the second time they've hosted it at the end of the month. It's like a pattern, for some weird reason. One moment, it's like right around the week of my birthday. Then it jumps to the end of the month, at the end of the near end of August. It then jumps onto the weekend of my birthday. And then it jumps back to the end of the month. So, is this going to be a pattern? Who's to say? But we have pretty much a full year. So, let's say the 21st or something, but the event happens on the 23rd and goes on to the 25th next year. Look forward to that. And there's any conventions down the line that may be possible be able to pull off. Maybe a tiny little vlog form, maybe nothing big, or just not at all. I haven't really thought of it. For Pete's sake, I'm still trying to get settled down in this place. Sorry. With that said, I'll see you guys next year for the set of Everfree vlogs. Also, so you can tell I'm not being, like, expansive with the whole end credits thing. I tired myself out last year with the montage. I'm not going to do it again this year. And if I want to do something big, and I do mean something big, it has to be a special surprise. But what kind of surprise could it be, though? Beats me. I'll have to think about it. Well, I know, maybe I could bring back an old friend. Something I haven't worn in, like, a long time, or there's something special about the next year and the whole Everfree Northwest, how it ties into it, stuff. Who's to say? But for the moment being, guess we could say a farewell. And that's kind of all I can give, is a farewell. But the connection between 24 and Everfree Northwest, it's almost like there's a connection. But what connection, though? I'll have to think about it. See ya.